Good afternoon, I'm TerryTopCat for TerryTopCat, Purrsents for ClusterView.com. I'm with the wonderful Akashic Gods and Richard from Akashic Gods.
Hi.
How are you guys? Good to see you.
Thank you very much.
So I've been meaning to interview for ages, and I'm sorry I missed your gig. And Mark Anthony who's going to be filming and doing a wonderful edit as well, told me, was raving about your gig. So let's go through your journey from Akashic Gods, from modelling to dance music. So tell us how you got into modelling, because I love your outfit. You look so brilliant, and I love the jewellery. I'm all about jewellery, but I'm not wearing any today.
First of all, Terry, I just want to say a huge thank you for having us on.
Yeah.
Thank
you're so
you
welcome.
very much. It's been an honour and a privilege.
Oh, my privilege too.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, I know from back in the day, from modelling days. Yes, I used to be a fashion model, haute couture. I used to do lots of fashion shows. I've travelled all over the world. And
how was that? Was that quite lonely, or did you make a lot of friends?
Funnily enough, that's actually the beginning of my journey into where I am from today. Because as a fashion model, yes, for busy traveling, doing lots of shows, and obviously, in the fashion world, you meet a lot of creative people,
absolutely,
designers, artists, musicians, and the clubs and all that. So it actually started pretty much from my modelling days, having been travelled all over the world, being with agencies, doing all these fashion
Where did you model?
shows.
What countries would you say? Somewhere different, rather than just Milan and Paris?
I could say that's a good question. France, in Monaco, did the Christian Dior in Monaco.
Very nice.
Which was good.
Was there many on models of colour at that time? Do you mind me asking?
No.
Okay.
No, not really. You know what I mean? Not particularly. I've lived in London, lived in Paris, lived in Milan, kind of all over doing all those kind of modelling stuff, but now I would just say after those modelling days, one thing kind of transitioned into the next, from the modelling and hence where the music came in. And, you're always going out. There's the nightclub in life where I met our wonderful Mr. M.A. here, who's a fantastic singer as well.
Brilliant artist, right,
actually.
yeah.
He's brilliant.
One by One, I love it.
Yes,
what a tune.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So from that, so from the modelling, then that evolved into the clubs, whereby I started promoting lots of clubs for most of the, I would say, well-known established West End clubs, Café de Paris, the Mayfair Club, the Notting Hill Gate. We've got our the Cobden and the Arts Club. All these old, private members clubs. So from there, having known all these people, it's just like an eclectic mix because everyone hangs together. So that evolved from me being a club promoter, and then from the club promoter, that it transitioned into music because I love music.
So talking of music, we're going to ask Richard who your musical influences, because you play guitar live with the Akashic Gods. We'll go on to about the album and your involvement in the live shows. But tell us about artists that you really like.
I've liked a bit of everything. In my music travels, I've liked a bit of everything. I did come along from one thing about the punk movement at the time that appealed to me, aside from the fashion thing and the political intervention or whatever, was the freedom to the DIY thing. You didn't have to. The idea of being a musician was always, you have to go to conservatory or something to learn how to play. And punk came along, and not just in music, in fashion, in writing. It just opened the doors to say, look, I know 3 chords. Let me see if I can come up with something interesting that can still appeal to people. And that was one of the things. Punk. I moved on to various.
So, which artists would you say really inspired you to pick up the guitar? And
well, when it comes to guitar, I would go Hendrix and that kind of thing, because they opened the doors for that as well in a different way. But
absolutely.
And then as a learner, my interest in guitar, from those kind of things, 70s rock. There was a lot of things that I liked, not the naff ones, but the interesting.
No, we don't like naff music.
No, the interesting ones. But to get into playing was actually a lot of the punk movement thing. that got me in, because that, like I said again earlier on, it just opened my mind to saying, well, you don't have to learn, you just learn on your own.
Absolutely.
So it kind of opened the doors for me. The Pistols, the Clash, Nina Hagen, for example. There was an album I was really a fan of. Got a bit into jazz a little bit. Just got in through various genres of music just to collect more information, for me to then filter that and bring it out. But mostly, I like aggressive and attitude music. I like that. I like something I can express myself in that way.
Brilliant answer.
Yeah.
Love that. So, Akashic Gods, tell us about your musical influences. So, you say you went from modelling to club promoter, and then obviously you're amongst all these creative people, and obviously you must have had ideas or wanting to do music. So, I know you like Grace Jones, you love Lenny Kravitz. As a young woman growing up, who would you say the female artists were that influenced you?
Definitely Grace Jones. Definitely, and then there's also definitely Grace Jones. Also, that's the good thing that we've got in common there, because we've got a lot of artists that we actually have in common that we like. That Nina Hagden is a very, very good example. Patti Smith as well. So artists basically like that. Is it Sushi and the Banshees as well?
Yeah.
Bananarama, all those kind
Bananarama,
of.
really?
Yeah, believe it or not, yeah, I actually know a couple of
They
the
had
girls.
some
I
great
remember
songs,
years
though,
ago.
didn't
Yeah, that tells back in the day.
Which I like Siobhan particularly.
But also, there's a track actually called Siobhan, but not
Is
nothing
it?
to do.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were talking about. Sorry. Anyway, so that really, because that's how, as I said, from the clubs that evolved into dance. So because I was formerly, first and foremost, a dance artist. So I was with a management company, and so that's how how my music journey started. So
Did you do lots of PAs?
Yes,
So tell us
what
about
they
the
used
big
to
track
do.
that you're featured on.
There
the
was
classic track. A few,
one of
actually.
them, yes, there's a couple. One of them's Bucci Bag, which is the
That's
biggest
it.
one, the main known one, because with my management company, this is why I transitioned as well. First of all, they used to give me instrumental tracks because they knew I was good as a writer. Hey, can you write a track to this? So I was writing all these tracks just for DJs and for projects for their labels, and I did that. So Bucci Bag was a huge hit. I mean, obviously that's a worldwide hit. It got, it was in, what was it, in an Oscar-nominated film with my voice singing. I think that won about 18 worldwide film awards, and it was up for an Oscar in the, is it the USA Academy? The Oscar
So you must have done a
Awards.
lot of travelling with that song.
I did quite a lot of gigs on that. Yes,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, and that got tons of radio play. Following that, I did a follow-up called More Lemonade, which was with the Scissor Sisters, which I actually wrote, and I wrote the lyrics, and I actually sang the vocals on as well. As for Bucci Bag, which is Andrea Doria Bucci Bag, but I'm the lyricist, co-lyricist, and actually the vocalist on that project. So
how did you meet the Scissor Sisters? Through the management again?
So everything's through the management, because the management, he used to be a subsidiary of EMI Records.
Okay.
And so I was they're Italians, Prolifica Records at the time.
Yeah, a good label.
Yeah, Prolifica Records. So that was my label. And so obviously that's how I got into the dance music and all that. So, but obviously, as over the years, you learn things, grow up as a more independent person. And so I decided to transition rather than simply...
That's very brave, though, I have to say.
Because, and the reason for that also is... you get tired of just writing hooks, because I feel as a person I've got so much more to say, and there's so much more in me as a character, as opposed to just singing the same repetitive hook. Quite meaningless, really.
Good answer.
So I need... no offence. But anyway, nevertheless, no, music is music.
But you
we love
appreciate
EDM.
the journey that
it's fantastic.
you know.
It's the best journey of my life.
Yeah.
Because I had quite a few... wrote a few records for them, for their producers and all that. But moving forward, following that, it's just I decided I want to do something a lot more substantial, something a bit more substance, with more substance. Hence, I just had to take some time out after I went through quite a traumatic period as well.
Oh, sorry to hear
Yeah, which obviously, because it's also through this traumatic period that actually allows one to take a step back from the noise, to sit still, silent within myself, and actually have to question what it is that where am I coming from and where am I going as an artist.
Absolutely.
Hence, this Akashic Gods concept came into mind.
I hear the battle cry at mankind's door, at the earth's core, like forces raging war. Imagine the destinies of our race, a sacred space like a light-filled wondrous place. Is this mystery the perfect sanctuary? Are we careless what we witness as we stare into our blindness? Weapons in space, saving grace. Love will break hell wide open. I embrace this race to the cross, my hands raised wide open. Weapons in space, saving grace. Let it sunken light break hell wide open. It's alright, let in the light. Love is a weapon.
So tell us about the name, how you came up with the name.
Right.
And what does it mean?
Right, Akashic Gods. Well, basically, I'm quite philosophical, and it's more of a didactic album. Now, Akashic. Now, I consider myself, as I said, quite a spiritual person, which is just the basis of how I am and the basis of the messages in all the songs. Now, the Akashic Records, funnily enough, it's actually nothing to do with the Akashic Records, but it somehow just seemed to merge with my concept. So the Akashic Records obviously is about, all events that have happened in the future or have happened in the past before. It's, it's a collection of more spirituality with philosophy, didactics. It's a whole combination. So as Akashic Gods, I see myself obviously through my spirituality and didactic messages, because all the messages in the songs, they're just it's more of a concept of a chapter. So each song is a chapter of this album. So you get to the first song, opens the doors to the second one. So there's messages in all these songs, from the experience through the pain, the trauma, and that actually ties in with the same with Akashic Records for events past and foremost. And with this album, my album, Akashic Gods, now, all the songs are didactic messages. They're messages of morals, empowerment, to empower people, to give people, a positive message, enlightenment. There you go, enlightenment.
So you released your first single, Gods and Monsters, in 2000.
Gods and Machines.
Gods and Machines, and it's
Gods
Weapons
and
in
Machines.
Space. Gods and Machines.
Gods and
sorry,
Machines.
Rewind. You released your first single.
That's correct.
Gods and Machines in 2024.
That's correct.
So did you get? I was looking at some of the press. It's really great press.
Yes.
So that's pretty great for like your first.
Considering there was nothing, yes. Considering, yes, the press it was fantastic press. Considering from nothing,
right.
But I think it's also from what they were saying is to have that boldness to be able to
Absolutely.
just jump genres. Basically, I've jumped universes. Oh, yeah.
Completely different universe,
myself.
yeah.
So I've totally reinvented myself, my mindset, my mind, my vision, everything. So who I am no more the woman I used to be. I am now Akashic Gods, totally different. And this is my fantastic guitarist.
So
now.
tell us how you met Richard.
My concept with Akashic Gods in the first place was... as an artist, I've always been a solo artist, but at the same time...
That can be quite lonely at some point.
Absolutely. But as a solo artist, but this whole concept, because this is a concept I've been working on for years, so it's not just suddenly appeared. This is for years. So I knew at the end, after once I finished recording the album, I recorded the album with a producer called Carlon Lewis.
How did you meet Carlon?
Carlon was a friend of mine.
Okay.
He's a friend of mine. He actually, because he has a studio in Farmhouse Studios, so I actually used to go to him to get my vocals recorded there.
Nice.
And just by somehow, when I worked on my last project with Nen Records, which was Orbit to Landfall, that's when I just realised, oh, hang on a minute, with Carl on his studio. So I took this track. This is another project for a record label, but I took took this track to him, and then I just simply asked him, hey, do you know anyone who does punk? I'm looking for a punk producer. And he said, oh, I used to be with the punk band. I'm like, oh, really? Well, so you know how to do that kind of music? Oh, yeah. So that's how it took off from there. Lovely. So we just decided, so that's when we recorded the album with...
And it's all recorded already?
The album's done with, recorded, it's a 10-song album. The album's done, finished, recorded, in the bag. Recorded it with, what's his name? Alan Riggs, who used to be the Delta 5, Mind Your Own Business. They've got the ads in the Apple commercial. So he was the actual main guitarist who just did the guitars on the actual album. But for live, that's a whole new different thing as an artist to perform out there. So I met Richard as I was out on my travels, busy looking for a guitarist in a guitar shop. Fadilino, on Portobello Road, wasn't it? I was looking at, remember the old-fashioned ads boards, and that was so amazing. And so I just went in because on Portobello Road, we love Portobello Road,
Absolutely,
and so just by pure fluke, I just walked in, and then. This is the truth, honest truth, I'll be back. I just heard this voice. I was looking on the ads board. I heard this voice. Have you found what you're looking for? And then I looked at him. I was like, no, not yet. And I just said, we just started talking. He said, oh, I'm actually a guitarist. I said, no way. And so we kind of like exchanged numbers, linked up from there. I listened to his stuff, listened to his guitar work, and he's fantastic. He's also got the look. He looked the part, and we got on great. So somehow, and we also come from the same ideology. We think alike. All our interests, musics, guitar, the looks, everything. It just gelled. So that was just meant to be like that by pure fluke.
It's funny.
Well, that's fate, though.
Because I was actually at that point as well. I was looking for something, but I couldn't really find anything that. Not that there isn't any good music around. I'm not trying to say that. I just didn't find something that excited me.
Sure.
There's just something going on at the moment with music. Not to discredit it. There's good music. I'm not trying to say that. But I couldn't find my little. I was going around with bands. I was playing around with this and that and that. And I just couldn't find something that I could express myself in that way. Mm-hmm. So it's been great to join. At the moment, I'm kind of working on getting my parts. Live, but also keeping the songs as they are, but also being able to fit my personality into it.
And do you think there'll be a chance in the future to write songs together?
Oh yes. Definitely.
You're so in tune with each other.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm actually in love with that track. What is it? The one you did that transformed you into coming to this.
There's quite a few of them.
No, the one. I can't remember it now. I travel to find.
Orbit to Landfall. Oh, that's wicked.
That would be wicked.
Yeah. You mentioned that. Yeah, I like that. Akashic Godify.
It doesn't leave my head.
I like that. Akashic Godify.
Well, that's the sign of a great song as well. So,
Akashic Godify.
Yeah.
I like that. Akashic Godify. That's two songs.
So tell us about Weapons in Space. So that's the latest single that you've released. That came out recently, right?
That's right. That came out just the last month.
How different is that to Gods and Monsters?
Machines.
It's still a good
Gods and Monsters, that's been done.
They're going to be the monsters, isn't it, really?
Gods and Machines,
the funny thing is, yes. So, obviously, Gods and Machines that's the debut, the debut single for the album. And basically, it's because it's...
Can you tell us what the album's going to be called, or you keep it?
No, the album, the actual album itself, the single is Gods and Machines. Actually, so the album itself is just Akashic Gods, Gods and Machines.
Okay.
Yes, because that's there's 10 songs. So what was that question again? You just said?
Weapons in Space.
Weapons in Space.
How
exactly.
different it is to
exactly.
and it came out recently.
Yeah. So now, Gods and Machines, as I said before, that's why it's so important, because the Gods and Machines it's basically, how would I describe it? It's the interwoven connection between technology, war, social media, madness, computers, all this everything technology that's going on. We're living in an absolute crazy world right now, and basically Gods and Machines, that's exactly what that is about. The gods are the spirituality part of us, the machines are the technology side of things. The gods and machines clashing together. What do we get? Where do we go from here? Hence the lyrics. Now that goes down to Weapons in Space. Now Weapons in Space that's the second single from the album. And Weapons in Space, that kind of still correlates to the Gods and Machines, because remember, they're messages, didactic messages. So Weapons in Space, basically, it's about, how would I put it, Weapons in Space? I would say it's about more enlightenment, bringing people more towards the light, because we are battling, whether we like it or not, or believe it or not. We're battling with forces, unforeseen forces that we cannot see, dark and light forces. It's a fact, and that's basically what all the Weapons in Space is about. You know what I mean? The darkness of space with the light from above, enlightened messages, powerful messages of positivity and faith as well, because I've got very strong faith. So Weapons in Space is literally about light and darkness. You know what I mean? Of the world.
Yeah, we can talk about this off air.
All day long.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's why Weapons in Space is just using, with this world needs a lot more love in it. Love is a weapon.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
Love is we can see what's going on around us in the world today, all the wars and this and that. It's an absolute tragedy. And so love is just the answer, the key and the answer that will make things a lot better, really.
So I'm going to ask Richard this question. So you recently played the iconic Water Rats.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I love that venue, because back in the day used to be, I know the owner, and we're going to be interviewing her. She's a lovely lady. Used to be Sally. Yeah, lovely lady.
Yeah, okay,
Used to be a real dive, but they've done it up really nicely, and it's got so much history. So so have you performed in many London venues, and was that the first time for you?
It was, on my, I've been living from London, UK, Portugal, UK. In this period I've come back, it wasn't my first gig, but it was the one that I consider more what I like to do.
Yeah.
I did play a few places around, little small gigs and squats and stuff like that. But this was definitely the one, and it was nice to play there with such a history.
And talking of music venues, that's the heart of live music.
Oh my God!
Because I go to
Water
places.
Rats,
I hate places like the O2.
Right.
The big O2. Indigo O2 is okay, but it's completely soulless. The price of the tickets, they price the fans out. Unless and I like going to all these pubs or iconic little places and grassroots venues. That's the heart of music.
With you. It's just something. There's so much connection.
As I said, I love. As you can see, I love music, but for me, it's going to a live gig, seeing the performer perform and getting that interaction with the audience, with the artists as well. So I think it's really important that these kind of venues. And if you ever go to Preston, there's a place called the Ferret, and it's a brilliant venue. So the places like that is really important. So coming back to Akashic Gods, so tell us about your future plans, and when are you gonna release another song from the album, and then when's the album going to be released?
Oh yes, definitely. Sorry, just had to say one thing. Remember, you've played this on quite large festivals in Portugal, haven't you?
In Portugal.
That you should have mentioned with quite some.
We were talking about
festival.
UK. In Portugal I played loads of festivals. We have loads of festivals.
Like very big festivals.
Sardines and festivals.
artist as well. So
There's a lot of
he's a
big,
professional.
a lot of big
Hence,
festivals.
he's on board. I
Played
took
on
him on
stage
board.
with PJ Harvey, played with Neil Young, I don't know, Limp Bizkit. We were playing all these stages. I had quite a few bands, crossover metal, you know, the crossover metal reggae thing, rap thing, those kind of...
and they love their music in Portugal, right?
Yeah, no, we love our festivals,
Yeah.
Although it's hard being a musician in Portugal because... they always take more seriously what comes from abroad. If you're coming from the UK, you're the real thing.
Yeah,
if you're
absolutely.
in Portugal, they
you.
you know, they support you. Obviously, they do.
Yeah.
But it's hard. It's a hard market. It's a small country. It's not really.
Beautiful country, actually.
But It's
So yes, the plans,
Right, so
your
sorry,
future
back to
plans,
that. Yeah,
and where can
exactly.
people find you on social media?
Exactly. Now, future plans. Now we've got another live event coming up in the Camden Club. We're going to be the Camden Club. It's a new, brand new live music venue. It's very seriously cool. Like the Water Rat's very, very cool, brand new venue. Really, really cool. I'm going to be performing alongside another artist called Holly Penfield. She's this American LA artist with 4 other acts.
I've heard of her.
Holly Penfield. I think Simon Cowell actually did a really good review on her.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's really good. So I'm going to be performing next to her and a couple of other acts. And then also what the plan is, yes, I would say very soon. It's not going to take us long for the next one to come out, but we'll just get the next third track out pretty soon.
Can you give us a little teaser what it might be?
At the moment,
you haven't undecided yet?
I was undecided because I was been thinking it might be Voice of the Youth. We have to think about that one.
Yeah,
because there's a slower one I'm thinking this time. You know?
I wouldn't comment on it.
Yeah.
And finally, where can people find you on social media?
On social media, right. So I'm at Akashic Gods on Facebook, Twitter,
Instagram.
Facebook, Instagram, X.
Yeah, X.
TikTok.
It's all about TikTok.
All of them. And
unfortunately.
Akashic Gods is spelled AKASHIC and then _ Gods, GODS. So it's or just Akashic Gods on any of those platforms. It's the same name for all the platforms. And you can also see the video as well, both videos to Gods and Machines and Weapons in Space.
Gods and Monsters.
Both. Well, Gods and Machines, I know. Yeah, on YouTube.
Yeah.
On YouTube and so definitely we're going to be getting the third one out pretty soon, and we're going to start also doing some acoustic song, which we
that'd
need.
be nice.
That's our next plan.
That's
To start
great.
doing the bare bones, start performing these songs acoustic versions, aren't we now?
That'd be brilliant.
Definitely.
So that's what we're going to do. Start doing acoustic songs, getting our content for social media, building up our profile. Because you remember we're a new band. You know, we're very new.
It's good to play, even if it's just for rehearsing for us. It's good to play the song in its bare bones.
Absolutely.
You know, and then that
you hear the real song.
Yeah,
don't
you hear the real song.
Absolutely.
So we thought it'd be a good idea to do
Great
that.
idea.
You know.
Or you should try busking. Lots of people do it, and you make some good money from doing that. There's a good spot in King's Cross. I'll tell you after the interview's
I've
finished.
been seeing a lot of people. You get them; they're getting all setting up with their stuff outside,
and they get good money, and then you get some new fans. So this has been TerryTopCat for TerryTopCat Purrsents, with the wonderful Akashic Gods and Richard for ClusterView.com. And thank you to the wonderful MA who's been filming and editing. Thank you.